Morning, sunshine. How you doing, baby? Happy. That's fine. Monday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe. Look at some of the videos. And if you see something that you like, just hit share. Quit playing with me. Man. I'm trying to be famous, man. I'm trying. What should I do? Well, if you was in my shoes, what would you do? If you trying to be famous, you got all these talents and stuff you got going on here. No, I don't forgot the damn book. Hey, baby. Moving in slow motion. This Monday. Shit. I sure did forget the book. What did I want to talk to y'all about today? Shit, I don't even know. What type of teacher am I? I'm sorry, guys. I have failed you this morning. You know, I mean, I wrote it down. I got it out. I did that. I did. But there's so much other stuff going on with me. Like, when y'all see me these couple of minutes, that ain't nothing. That don't even scratch the surface of what I got going on in my world, in my life. And, man, I know that ain't none of your concern, but I'm just saying. Damn, step outside. I'm tripping. I'm telling you, this is life. This is real life. If your life ain't like this at 50, I mean, that's a good thing, I guess. If you ain't forgetting stuff, that's a good thing. Me, myself, it seemed like as soon as I hit 50, my eyesight went away and I can't remember nothing. I go in the room 3 times before I remember what I'm going in the room for. So y'all, today, on this day, it was kind of hard to write this one down. It was, but it wasn't, you know. So I'm hoping, you know, some of y'all probably gonna jump in and say something, and it's okay if y'all did. I'm not always right. My opinion is not the only opinion that matters when it comes to parenting. What I talk about might not even pertain to your household, so it's like, Shakenya, you ain't right, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree. Your way might be better. That's okay. I ain't gonna trip. I ain't tripping. But what I do want to know today is, did you have a good childhood? And y'all can support me with these stars if I ain't told y'all that yet. Yeah, did you have a good childhood? In spite of the troubles. Because if you a child of color, you probably had some struggles. Probably had a little trouble. It's probably a little rough for you. Yeah. Let's see if we can get on the same page here for a minute. The same page. You got it. I'm here all night, people. I'm here all night. Okay. You probably had to shop at the Goodwill, huh? Yeah, shop at the Goodwill. Me too. It's okay. Me too. Yeah, my grandma took it. You probably had hand-me-downs. Your cousins and them that was more fortunate, you probably gave you their clothes and they was too small. They didn't fit you quite right, but you still rocked them. I know. Me too. Me too. You probably went to Focus Hope. Right there on Chalmers from the east side. We used to go to the one on Chalmers. Yeah, I used to always go. And they used to trick me too, because I ain't never liked to go. I would be thinking that they about to go to the gym. My grandma, my auntie Linda. I hope she chime in. And I be thinking they about to get. And so as soon as I get in the car, they pull up right there on Chalmers. And motherfucker, peace of Jesus Christian show, and make me get out and push the buggy. Oh my God, I hated Focus Hope, but I love the farina and the cheese. Yo, I sure did eat that farina every day. And the canned chicken. My grandma used to make the canned chicken, and she used to cut up some onions and peppers, and she used to make a gravy, and then she would make toast, and we would eat that on our way to school. Okay, let's get back. Did you used to do flips outside? Did you used to do backwards flips off pissy mattresses that people threw outside? No? What about jumping off the roof of a bed in the house or something, or a garage? Did you just jump off the roof onto like 5 pissy mattresses that you... What? What about dance contests? Did you have dance contests when you was little? What about beatboxing contests? I used to have beatboxing contests, and I used to win every time. Yeah. Let me see. What else? Did y'all do concerts? Me and my friends used to perform in front of everybody in the middle of the street. Yes. Did y'all go skating? Did you go to the arcade, the butterfly? Did you go to the dancery? Did you? Then you had a good childhood in spite of everything else. Yep. Well, let's move on over here. Yeah, let's move on over here. Did you have... Dang, that's B calling. B, I'm going to have to get back at you. I'm going to call in the conversation. Or, did you have to watch your sisters and brothers? Every day. Yeah, you had to pick them up from school. You had to take them to school. Let's start off there. Then you had to pick them up from school. And once y'all got home, you had to make sure they did their homework. You had to clean up, because chances are they're not listening to you. So you had to do all the cleaning before mama got home from work. You probably had to cook. Make sure everybody ate. Make sure they did their homework. Make sure they took a bath. And then you probably put them to sleep. You such a good brother, good sister. Yes, you are. Was that the type of childhood you had? Because if that was your everyday childhood, you probably didn't enjoy it too much. You was probably mad every day when you went to school. You probably bullied everybody. You probably just was, oh my God, you did not enjoy that. You didn't have fun. I mean, you probably didn't have no friends, because your friends was outside playing. You was in the house babysitting, watching your little brother and your little sister. It wasn't that bad for me. The worst for me was my grandma and them made me take my little brother with me sometimes. It wasn't even all the time. I didn't want to take him sometime, but as the big sister, they did make me take him a couple times, you know, but not all the time. I enjoyed my childhood. I had time to myself. I didn't have to act like a parent. I was just a sister. You know, I used to I could drop them off, yeah, but the ones that had to watch their siblings all the time and didn't really have a childhood, didn't really get outside and play, I'm sorry that you had to do that. You know, now, I'm going to be honest with you. It is circumstances that happens, things that happen in life to where you do have to step up and pitch in as the oldest, and there's certain things that you have to do. I will say that in the defense of the parents who need the oldest to pitch in. But I'm about to say something to you. You might be you about to get mad at me, but them your kids. That you chose to have. It's not that kid. So my opinion, and this don't mean nothing to nobody, I don't feel like they should be watching your kids all the time. Now, if they must take care of them every day, could it be just they probably pick them up from school and then they get home and then you have somebody there to take care of all of them, even the oldest? Because see, we be forgetting sometimes that oldest is just a child too. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. They is just a child, so they need to be taken care of too. They need to be taken care of too. They need to be catered to, and they need to be taken care of in a certain way. So yeah, to have them take care of their siblings all day. Now, if it's a short stint of time, I'm with that. So they can still have time after they do their homework to go outside and play with children. I'm with that. Even if they got to cook dinner every day, as long as they ain't got the responsibility of picking them up, cooking, and they just got to cook. Oh yeah, they can do that. But all three, shit, you done made this child a whole parent before they time. So, for those of you who have to do that, you have to depend on your oldest to take care of the kids. See if you can find a better way, meaning that you might have to work another job to get enough money to pay for childcare. You might have to find a way to get a babysitter up the street to come down here and sit with the kids for a couple hours. My main focus is making sure that your children have a good childhood. Now, that's because I had a good childhood. So, let me tell you, how has your childhood influenced your parenting? Or has it? Did you have a sucky childhood, so now you make sure that your children enjoy theirs? Or did you have a sucky childhood, so now your child have a sucky childhood? Did you have a good childhood? But times have changed to where no, your children don't have a good childhood. Even though you had one, you forgot about your childhood. Yeah, you in a different realm, you doing something different, your social status changed. I don't know what it is, but you forgot what it was like to be a kid. So therefore, your children might miss out on that opportunity. I don't know how it affected you. And I don't even know if you incorporated it in your parenting style. But I'm going to be honest, in most cases, and this is not proven, if you had a good childhood, 9 times out of 10, you might try to make sure your children have a good childhood. Like I had a good childhood, so every time I cut on my live, all you hear is joy and laughter in my background. We ain't putting that on for the cameras. When I cut the cameras off, it's still joy and laughter in my background. You hear kids laughing all the time. Any live you see where you see kids in my house, you say, why? Because I make sure they play. I make sure they have fun. I played, so I know how to play. So I play with them when they come over. When they pick up the phone and they acting like it's a phone, the remote, and they acting like it's a phone, and they moving their head and they hollering, I pick up my phone and I talk to them. Hey girl, and so does my daughter. I saw them the other day having a full-blown conversation, and she was on her phone, and the little baby was on her remote control phone, right? So yeah, I play with them. When they're on the trampoline, I go out there and jump with them. I stop what I'm doing and I go out there and jump. I don't jump the whole time, but you gotta let them see that you know how to play a little bit. You know, so the people that have their children babysitting, or they have got it to where their child has more responsibility, whether you know it or not, if you were a child that didn't enjoy your childhood, you might be putting more responsibility on your baby than you necessary. Fixing Jesus, this is not scripture, I'm just talking to you. Yep. But on the bright side of that, let me tell you what might come out of somebody who has put extra responsibility on you. It's a good chance that your child might be more responsible. Yeah, it's a good chance that your child might be independent. Hey Cynthia, hey, shout out to Flint, Michigan. It's a good chance that your child gonna be dependable. Yeah, because you got them there doing what they gotta do every day. They consistent because they doing it on an everyday basis. It's a routine to them. Yeah, you're preparing them for life early. So I'm not even gonna take nothing away from you, taking your childhood away to make them watch their siblings and lock them down. Like I'm not, because this is what comes out of it. But do you know that your child can enjoy their childhood and be kids and behave like kids, and you still can make sure they're responsible. You still can instill some things to make sure they're independent. You still can do some things to make sure they're dependable. You still can do things to make sure they're consistent. And you can still prepare them for life. But they still can enjoy their childhood at the same time. Yep. Let me see. Let me make sure I covered everything. Not their children. I told you that. They can help out, pitch in, cook a little bit. I told you that. Because I made sure my kids took care of each other. So I'm not saying not to make sure they do this, but you got to put time limits on it. You got to put time limits on it. Yeah, it can't be them watching your kids for 8 hours as soon as they get home from school. That's not a childhood. That's not a kid being a kid. That's an adult. That's a kid that you don't put in an adult's place. Yeah, and they have to adjust. How can you adjust from a kid to an adult over just switch up like that? It's a process. It's a growth process in the middle of that. So you have to mature as you get older. But when you force a child in a situation to where they actually taking care of their siblings all day, that's too much responsibility that you putting on that. That's not that baby's responsibility. That's not that baby's child. It's not. So it's a thin line between your oldest helping out and pitching in where it's needed, and you also having your child raise your children while you out in the street or while you working and while you doing this and that. Yep. So we'll dip into it a little bit more tomorrow, guys. That's it for Coffee and Conversation with your girl Shakenya, and I'm out. Mwah.